What is up, everybody? You are listening to Beyond the Breakdown with Six Scars, and I am the host, JT, joined by my lovely partner, April, and this has just been an absolute nightmare. We are joined tonight by Magnus. I'm going to say it right. Styren?
Good enough. Good enough.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, how you doing tonight, bud?
Great. Great. It's a I'm pleased and calm and feeling good right now. Had a gig last
Absolutely.
night and went well, and yeah, feeling
Well,
good.
we'll just hit the ground running then. We just saw the photos of your gig from last night that you shared to Facebook. What was it like having the band for the first time?
Um, quite. I was quite nervous to begin with, but it turned out great. The performance wasn't flawless, but it was good, and we had great energy, and the audience were happy and participated in the show. So it was great in every aspect. Lots of
That
hugs and cheers afterwards. So it
hey,
was
there's that's great. And for those that don't know of you, can you let them know where you're from?
Sweden, west coast of Sweden, is where I born, raised, live. So
Uh, it's so this is a first for the podcast. We've never had anybody from Sweden on here,
okay.
so this is intense because a lot of my favorite metal comes from Sweden.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of has it been like growing up around there?
In Sweden, so I don't have anything to compare with, but I like living in Sweden, and being a kid in Sweden is great. It's safe and secure, and the school system is good.
Yeah,
Free lunch for everyone in school, and yeah, uh, not so crowded. You can get out of the cities, and I live in the countryside now, and close to the ocean, and peace and quiet. Most Swedes appreciate nature and peace and quiet, and not peace around so many people. We appreciate that, close to nature.
yeah, it definitely feels like everything I've read about Sweden and the Swedish community that you all have there. It's very not necessarily easygoing, but much more connected.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so another thing I wanted to ask you about was what was it like growing up? Because I believe your hometown was Gothenburg.
Yeah.
Um, what was it like kind of growing up around all of that metal influence that came from there?
Um, well, it was pretty exciting. Yes, Gothenburg is not a it's not a big city. It's like a 500,000 people living there. So it's a small town compared to New York or London or something like that. But um, yeah, there were lots of bands going on in the 90s, and still to this day. And it's free education in Sweden, also in music. So everyone is free to go to study music and learn how to play an instrument or sing or dance or whatever you like. And also instruments are almost free for every kid who wants to learn how to play or be in a band or something like that. So that that encourage young people to form bands and learn the crafts. So um, there are like community centers almost everywhere where you can go and have your rehearsal room. almost for free, and borrow instruments and have grown-ups to help you to start up the band or arrange
Wow.
gigs or something like that. So no wonder Sweden is a small country. We are about 10 million inhabitants, I think. But we are number 3 in the world in the music export. So that is quite astonishing, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
really is.
it
Uh,
really is.
so, I believe you're thinking of those bands from the Gothenburg melodic
Y-
death
yeah, yeah,
sound.
yeah.
Yeah, I know some of those guys, and I actually have played with some of them, and we know of each other, some of them at least, and uh, our roads came across. We met a few times, and different circumstances made it like I wasn't really a part of that death metal melodic thing. I really didn't grasp the thing really when
Yeah.
it no. So but they were around. I remember when In Flames were like new and Hammerfall and Dark Tranquility and At the Gates and
Yeah.
people, yeah. So those are people actually um, did some gigs with, in the small venues, and they arranged by their communities or something like that. So I played with the bass player of Halo Effects, if you know those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the 90s. So I know that guy and some other guys, yeah, as well. Yeah,
Oh, man. Well, that makes me extremely happy. I'm hugely inspired by that whole scene. So it's
yeah.
really cool to hear somebody that actually got to be around it, you know. Um, what kind of made you fall in love with music?
Uh, I grew up. Um when I grew up, I was a small kid, about 7 or 8 years old. My friend's dad showed me this tape with the Iron Maiden Number of the Beast album, 1982 or something, and I instantly I was like mesmerized by the whole thing. So I sold some newspapers so I could afford to buy the album, and just maybe couple of weeks later, I bought the album Holy Diver by Dio. So it went from there, And when I came of age, I started to go to concerts. I remember my first real big metal concert was in Gothenburg, where I went to see Iron Maiden and Wasp as a support act.
Oh,
So,
That's awesome.
the Wasp was great. They were big in Sweden, and they are still big in Sweden. It had a huge impact on me as well when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, so I believe this was like in 1986 or something, So seeing Wasp as a 14-year-old kid, that really, yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
yeah.
And
Well,
all
I
the
mean,
grown-ups, they went crazy because of the blood and the bones and saw blades. We kids, we just loved it. We understood that it was like for fun. It was a joke. Blackie and his friends, they didn't mean to hurt anyone. They just he did it for fun, like a cruel form of theater or some. I don't know, just to provoke the grown-ups, and the grown-ups in Sweden, they were absolutely crazy. It was like documentaries and debates on
oh,
TV, and yeah, uh, and they special TV shows went on TV to warn us kids about beware of Wasp, don't buy their album and stuff. And and the other day, I think a week later the Wasp they sold like platinum in Sweden or something, like the best PR they ever had. So it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
No, no press is bad press.
exactly. And also Iron Maiden at the time was I love that album. Somewhere in Caught Somewhere in Time. That album is the biggest Maiden album for me, at least.
I can definitely hear some of that influence too
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
tracks and your vocals.
yeah. I
Um,
can't hide it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
Dio. Now that you mention it, that really popped to mind as well.
yeah.
Um, I got a lot of I don't know if you listen to them, but I got a lot of Iced Earth um in like sound as well from you.
I've listened to some of their songs, yes, but I can't say I can't say they're inspired me
Yeah,
that much.
yeah, yeah,
No, but I've heard them. Yes, I'm aware of their sound for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Um so I mean, growing up and seeing Dio and then Iron Maiden, what made you want to start kind of recording your own stuff?
Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah, uh, yeah, in the late '80s, when I came to that age, I met a guy in high school. He was a guitar player, and we became friends. And I was first, I wanted to be a drummer, but um, I wasn't allowed to buy drum kits and have at home. So I understand it now when I'm a father myself, of course. But yeah, and that guy he told me you're so loud, you have a strong voice. Why don't you sing instead? So that's what I did. I started to sing, self-learned. Just did it. So and also listened to a lot of Dio. I didn't really fully comprehend how good he was until I tried to sing his songs
Yeah.
in his key. It's the range and the power and the width in the bottom. When he sings high notes, it sounds like he's singing the low notes because he's so powerful in his voice. I've seen Dio many times live. It's never bad. It was always top notch in every way.
Oh,
So
I could
so of course Dio inspired me a lot. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um so we'll transition from that where we're talking about your singing, and you were just recently nominated for the International Male Vocalist. So tell me a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, that was great and crazy. First of all, I can say I was away. Took a break from music for like 7 or 8 years.
Oh,
I I just recently did this comeback 1 year ago or something. So I was stunned and shocked when I got this notification on my email that says congratulations, you're nominated to this category. So I knew of that radio station in UK, and I knew they played some of my songs occasionally, and I knew that they played they play mostly new artists or not really established artists
mhm.
yet. So they encourage a new talent or fresh finds, or what do you call it? So I had no idea. So I was shocked, to say the least, when I get this notification. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's crazy. So just a couple of days ago, they had like this big ceremony award party in London, and I was invited, but I couldn't go because I had this gig last night, and all the preparation and work with that gig, so I couldn't go. And but I came in second. I have like a mention in the ceremony that I was the runner-up. So absolutely great and shocking, and yeah, what can you say?
I mean, to me, that's incredible. Like
It
to
really
Yeah,
is incredible.
yeah, yeah,
we don't. This is a first for us, so we've never had anything like this on the podcast. So,
yeah.
firstly, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
um, so I think we should let the audience hear one of your songs.
Sure, fire away.
All right. So the one we are gonna play is "Burn" by STYREN. This is available on all platforms, I do believe.
Yes,
That's one I like.
All right. So here we go. And then we will be chatting right after this.
great.
Oh,
Oh man, that is such a killer track.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Uh,
um, April actually wants to ask you a question on this one.
yes.
sure.
What's the inspiration behind Burn?
Uh, um, I actually wrote that song a couple of years ago. It's like 8 or 9 years old. Actually, I wrote it for an album that was supposed to be released with my band I had at the time. The band called Punchline, and we did some great EP and some good tunes, and we recorded a video, and yeah, ready to launch. And then everything fell apart due to some personal tragedies among the members, and deaths and sickness and everything in between, divorce even. So I just that song was meant for that band, and that band was a little bit more like like a fusion between Metallica and Iron Maiden.
Definitely heard
So
Metallica.
yeah, and I consider that song like an homage to those bands, because both of those bands influenced me, and gave me so much inspiration through the years. And also Metal Church,
Oh yeah.
if you know
Yeah.
those guys, the early albums really inspired me a lot. I love that Bruce. What's his Wayne something, first singer of Metal Church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, David
Uh,
Wayne. He died in a car crash some years
yes.
ago. Very tragic. And also the second singer there, Mike Howe, also deceased some years ago. Very tragic. Yeah, so great inspiration. So those bands like influenced me to write that song, and the lyrics is about like personal stuff. You don't when you're fed up with something, you don't bang your head against the wall long enough. Then you say, "Fuck it," and leave, like something like that.
Yeah.
And and don't apologize for being who you are, and keeping your own pace, and finding your own strength and your truth and your inner confidence or something like that, and don't be so worried about what others might think. That's what it's song about, something like that. Yeah,
Damn. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was that what you were expecting on that one, April?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
I got a review on that song some time ago from a guy in New England. Is that close to you, New England, on the east
Um,
coast of?
it's about
Yeah.
like 15 hours away.
Not so close then. Yeah, he wrote a great review of that song. He said that song would have been a fit for Metallica's Black album,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and with Bruce Dickinson as a guest vocalist on that song. So that was his take on that song. So a great compliment, of course, for me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we both really love that track. We've been
Yeah.
listening to it a lot today.
great. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
What goes into the writing process? Do you do music first or do you do lyrics?
Um, Both actually, or yeah, simultaneously, I think. But sometimes I just kind of hook up on something, maybe something I read in the news, or a feeling or an emotion I get. Maybe I'm upset or angry at something, or um, frustrated, maybe, or see something on the news and thinking, and hearing something, a cool sentence maybe, and I build it up from there. And very often when I like maybe write a verse, a melody pops up in my head quite fast. So I try to do. I'm not. I, I'm a shitty guitar player. I don't play guitar very well, but I take the guitar and I try to make some riff, and maybe like some notes or tones. So so I can sing to and come up with a melody or a pitch that I like, and I ask a guitar player to do something with it,
Yeah.
and like explain to him or they how I want it to sound. So that's how it usually works.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It definitely shows that you all are really having a good chemistry, because I love the guitar tones through all of your songs.
Yeah, yeah. It's Liam Espinosa. He
Yeah.
plays most of the guitars on the album and the songs, almost everything. And there's another guy, an old friend of mine. He did the guitar solo on the Burn song. He's a very talented player, very influenced by Yngwie Malmsteen and Gary Moore and
Yeah, I can.
yeah.
I know April wants to ask you a question about another song of
Oh,
yours.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So,
I really like the song "Crazy."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
what was kind of the thoughts of making that one?
Are you thinking about the lyrics?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. The hard life and the struggles that probably every man experiences, and you know, I can only speak for men because I'm a man, apparently. so I can be an advocate for that in some way. Struggle and strive, going through a lot of bullshit, and also um, I like the lyrics on that one. I'm really happy with it, actually. Um, no, it's my own thoughts and emotions, something I was going through at the time, and the bullshit we sometimes endure to just provide for the family or pull through in some way.
It's
And
definitely an
and all,
emotional song.
sorry, come again.
It's an emotional song.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And there's a probably all over the world is let's say the debate on the internet, among other places. Men not being able to speak and express their feelings in many aspects, and the song is about that in a way. I don't know if you noticed like there's an episode there I sing. Oh, it's a brain freeze now. It's late in the evening.
I understand.
Yeah. If you ask me and wonder about my feelings, you know that line?
Yeah.
I had to sing it in my head. I couldn't tell you because I don't have access to that inner being. Something like that. I can't recall that exactly that now because I've been awake for like 20 hours or something.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Well,
never mind. We're having a good time. We're among friends, like.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's the one I played at work a few times. Yeah.
So, sorry.
I played "Crazy" at work
You
a
do?
few times.
Oh, makes me happy. Thank you.
Everyone liked it.
Yeah. It seems like ladies and women like that song, especially. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so therefore, I'm a bit curious what you think, April, of that song I sent over just a couple of hours ago. Have you ever listened to it yet?
Oh yeah. She hasn't heard it yet.
No, actually, I didn't get a chance to listen.
Ah.
He was going to surprise me with that one.
Yeah, it's a sad story, actually.
Oh, is it?
You have a listen and can ask questions about it later.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
Now I know you did say that you've been awake for so long, and
Yeah.
we cannot thank you enough for just coming on here with the time differences and everything. It truly means the world to us.
Yeah,
No
it
problem.
does.
I'm having fun. I'm having
Oh,
fun.
that's
Yeah.
That's
like
what
it.
we love to hear.
Yeah, I enjoy this. I enjoy this very much. So
um,
it's okay.
Another song before we go into the unreleased song that you are
Yeah.
so graciously letting us debut. Um, I want to ask you about the lyrics behind "The Grind" and "Closer to God."
Definitely
Oh,
closer.
yeah, yeah. The grind, the grind is like uh, it's like Burn Part Two. The two songs, they are connected in some way, and when you turn 50, like I did quite recently, and um, you try to, I try to like stay the person I've been, and develop at the same time and progress. It's about observing the surroundings, and um, you work and you're stuck in the grind, and
Yeah.
there's no time and no place or space for like the spirit of you or something. I don't know how to express it in English, but
No, it makes
It
perfect
makes,
sense.
yeah.
uh, and also, you had friends when you grew up, and they turn old, and you're wondering what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
Everyone. So yeah, I want to like the, from high school, the 20 years later or 30 years later, what you call it. You see your old friends from high school, the
The high school
oh,
reunion.
like a reunion.
reunion party, yes. And I went there, and I was like, who are all these old people? I'm like in senior convention, or what is this? Actually, my classmates, so it must have meant that I'm pretty old as well, but I'm not. No. No, I
Not at all,
refuse. I refuse.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
out of all your classmates, are you definitely like the most metal?
Uh, Probably yes. Yes,
Yeah.
probably yes. But on the gig last night, some of my old school buddies showed up, which some of them hadn't seen in like 20, 25 years. So it was really, really great to see those
Oh,
guys again. And they came and they supported, and they, yeah, banged their heads, and yeah, it was great.
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about "Closer to God" because that felt different than any of your
Yes.
previous releases.
Yes. That
Mhm.
song. That song. It was like a collaboration between me and a friend in a project called The Maze, and also Liam Espinosa. We just banged together at the studio one evening, and Johan, my old friend, he's the guy who did a guitar solo on The Grind and Burn. He said to me, I have a great riff for you. I want you to sing to this riff," and he played that riff, and he had a different melody for the vocals, and I said, we can't do that. We can't do that melody. It's not bad, but if we do, it's gonna sound exactly like any of Yngwie Malmsteen's earlier songs. So we can't
Oh
do
wow!
that. Yeah, so we can't do that. So we changed the key a bit, and I sang it in a like a different way, um, off beat, some sort of when so it's hard to explain, but yeah, not on the obvious beat,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
off
Yeah,
timing.
yeah. So it went kind of great, and we had just spoken about this awful thing going on in on in the world, religious wars, people killing each other in the name of their god or their beliefs, and all the vicious and awful things we do to each other in the name of any religion, basically. So the song is like a poem about that, in the present and the past and maybe the future. So I wrote it there in the studio as I sang it. Basically, it's improvised lyrics. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It's we were discussing things like the conquistadors, the Maya Indian,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Aztecs, and the Native Americans, and when the Europeans came, and the Israel Palestine stuff. You know, it's the worst thing you can do. You can come and force your beliefs into people. It's the worst thing you can do, and kill them if they don't obey, so to speak. So that the song is about that, and that song they don't really belong to the album concept, because the album is like a personal thing. It's basically about me, or my experiences, or my emotions, or things I've observed. So that song is not. That it just came out great, and yeah. So it's not decided yet if that song is going to be included on the album or not. But yeah, it's out there and people like it, and yeah,
Is
it's
it?
rock and roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it going to be kind of a different direction from that song that you go with the rest of the album, tone wise?
No, no. Uh, the rest of the album, I would say, like the album in his whole is musically. I would say it's like it sprinkles a lot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mixture of different genres within metal, and yeah, you got the thrashy bits in the grind. It's like, and the song you're about to hear soon, it's like a sad ballad or something.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, some type, or yeah, it's a duet with the keyboard player in the band, I should mention. Yeah, so and it's a personal thing. The lyrics there. I just write the songs. I don't do much thinking. Oh, this is a new metal song, or this is a thrash
No,
metal
no,
song,
no.
or this is a speed metal song. But the song "Closer to God" that is definitely more of a almost like a classic power metal song or something like that. And I don't do that usually. No, that's kind of music, and well, it's good. I like it. I listen to it sometimes, but that genre. But it's I don't want to do an album with that kind of sound. No.
Yeah, no, I completely get where you come from. I like doing different forms of like genres in on an album. I think it makes it a lot more diverse and compelling.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we will be playing the brand new song, unreleased from our lovely guest here, and this one is called "The Price."
Sure, fire away.
All right, I'll see you here in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, living this life without
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah, that was
You do?
beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Very
It makes me
beautiful.
happy.
That chorus really hits home.
Yeah. Yeah.
That like you said, it was a very sad feeling that evoked that song, and it translates through
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
airwaves.
Yeah.
Um, would you be willing to give us a little bit of insight into that song?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. uh, it's about a close family member to me, uh, chose to like get out of our relationship, and like disappear in some way, without explanation, more than there's no room for you in my life or something like that. The I don't know if you noticed, but the song, like the construction or the structure of the song is like uh, a father having a conversation to his grown-up daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you notice the female parts,
Yes.
yeah, it's like a conversation, in some way. Yeah, like an
Yeah.
imagined conversation.
That was a beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah,
It
thank you.
really was.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us be the first to play it. That means the world to us.
It's a world premiere today. How many listeners do we have?
um, are you going to be releasing that one?
Yeah, on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For
Uh,
sure. I was thinking maybe that would be the first single of the album is "I Tried," the song.
Hmm.
okay.
It went well on the radio stations in Canada and US and Latin and South America, and also UK and France, I think. Uh, so that went well. So I had this conversation with a record company just the other week, and we agreed to promote "Burn" as the second single for the album. Although "Burn" has been out there for quite some time on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music and so on, but people love that song "Burn," and we want to give it some extra promotion and give the chance to more people to hear it and like embrace it, and for what I've been told and I've heard, when people get it, when they embrace it, they really, oh yeah, I can see what you're coming from. Yeah, so that's a great thing. So I thinking the I tried was first, and "Burn" is like a heavy, hard thing, and I wanted to slow down a bit and show another side of me, and the price is going to be the third single then, and I was thinking also do a video for that song.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
gonna be a great. I think that's gonna be a hit. I really
yeah,
do.
you do. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
It's emotional enough to resonate with somebody that didn't even know the story behind it,
Yeah.
and it's just one of
Yeah.
those, like, it pulls at the
Yeah.
heartstrings.
Yeah.
So I mean, like a job very well done on getting that message across.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I practice a lot in the shower.
Good acoustics.
Yeah, good acoustics in my shower, and I tried the different harmonies for those choruses lines and so in the shower. Yeah, I was actually thinking of maybe record one of the song in the shower. Actually, why not?
Do it as a bonus track.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I know it's late. I only have about two more questions for you.
No,
And
don't worry about that. We can go, as we say in Swedish, ända in i kaklet. You know what it means?
No.
No. We go on till the head bangs the floor tiles. Yeah,
Okay.
something
Okay.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm gonna just do a couple random fun questions if you're okay
Sure,
with that. All
sure.
right. So, if you had to choose what kind of food your music was, what would you
Yeah,
say it is?
maybe a buffet of some sort. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Um, let's see. Books or movies?
Oh, that's a hard one. Uh, I've learned so much from books. I've read a lot of books, especially when I was younger, and it's good for it's good for you kids to read books. So learn how
Yes.
to read books. Movies are great too, but books, yeah, I would say I would go with books. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
she would
Yeah,
too. She's
yeah.
a book nerd.
books are better.
I grew up reading a lot of books and I sadly got out of it. I need to get back into it.
I still
Yeah.
read a lot.
It's
I got out of it too when I read when I studied in the university some couple of years ago, 10 years ago. Like I was reading too much at the time, and my brain kind of got damaged or something to read those heavy literature. Um, so yeah, and during the pandemic, oh, what an awful time that was. I read a lot too. Uh, so I got a bit fed up with it. So uh, I haven't read that much in a year or two because I was like, I don't know, tired in the brain or something. Yeah, from
so
not from reading, man, but yeah, just can't find the time and peace for it. I have
yeah.
small children also, so yeah.
Yeah, so does April over here. She has four children, so
You
it's
Yeah,
do?
just yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
great. I have four kids too.
Oh, well there you go.
that's great.
Yeah, they are two of them are old and living their lives on their own, and I have two small daughters.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have one daughter.
yeah,
She's the youngest. Yeah,
daughters. Yeah, yeah.
she's a sweetheart sometimes.
sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I have three daughters and one son.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
I
Yeah,
have three boys and one girl.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, you brought up an interesting thing that I had never thought of. So what was the pandemic like for you over in Sweden, if you're okay with talking about that?
Sure, sure, sure. You can ask me anything.
Okay.
I'm not sensitive in that way. No, the pandemic in Sweden was awful, but I read and I heard and watched the news. It was way worse in some other European countries. In Spain and UK and some other country, they were totally locked in and locked up. Um, Here in Sweden, we could move somewhat freely. We had the rules for distance
Mhm.
and not taking too many people on the buses and trams and stuff like that and trains. People wearing masks. Um, yeah, and some like businesses went crashing down. Like some restaurants and um, no concerts or theaters or something. The movies were closed, and yeah, it was awful, really awful. People were sick. Um, I had some friends there that almost died, uh, and I was fucking sick as well. I was so sick. I always fell into coma, and I coughing like blood for 3 weeks. Yeah, and I had
Sweet.
those vaccines, but I went sick anyway. So sometimes I wonder, maybe the vaccine didn't do anything for me, or if I hadn't got those shots, maybe I would be dead now. So I don't know, but it was an awful time, and no music, no bands, no performances or anything like this. It was frustrating. So in that time, by the end of the lockdown, we had this thing in almost 3 years in Sweden, when they like withdrawn all the barriers, so to speak, and the society went back to normal again. My lungs was so damaged, so I couldn't sing anything without coughing and almost puking. Like, so it took me like a year to recover from that injury. I have scar tissue on my lungs. So and my voice changed quite a bit after that illness.
So did
But
mine because of it.
sorry,
My
say
voice
again.
changed because of that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
she
awful,
had
awful.
COVID.
I had it
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Yeah, it was it was really interesting here because they were talking about doing, curfews and different things like
yeah,
that here, and hearing how it was over there though, like it almost makes me have this newfound appreciation for how things were here, because it sounds like it was not worse, but just like a lot more widespread, I guess would be the word over
yeah,
there.
yeah. Some
Worse than our
schools
location.
had closed down in periods, and had this online
Mm.
teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, some schools didn't close down. We never had that curfew thing in Sweden. I know some countries in Europe they had it, and April, you are a parent and you have kids. Imagine sitting in a flat uh, all day, year, month, week long with your kids, not being allowed to go out to the playground or the park or the
Yeah.
beach or anything. They were locked up, all the kids in some parts of Europe. Not in Sweden.
That's
We were,
terrible
were
for the
allowed
kids.
to. Sorry?
That's terrible for the children.
Yeah, and the moms too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, yeah. So
it
so so when the pandemic and the restraints were like uh, gone, I was thinking I will never be in a band again. I will never sing again. I thought that train had been long gone. So I tried to a year later try to sing a little bit, and yeah, I was in some way in the agony, and my wife noticed that and said, "Shouldn't you be doing music again?" And I thought, no, it's too late. That train have left the station long time ago. But I don't know if you're aware of this. Have you heard this? But my wife, she did a surprise party for me when I turned 50.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So she collected money from my relatives and friends, and she threw a surprise party, and they kidnapped me, and I had no idea what was going to happen. And I had a big party, and I got this envelope with a card. Says this money in this envelope is earmarked. Is it a word in English? Earmarked. They are destined for a purpose. You're not allowed to spend this money on alcohol and pizza. You must spend this money on the recordings of your songs. Was the terms. So I got involved with a local recording studio and a music producer and a musician. That's Liam Espinosa, and and those money we put that in the studio and recorded the first two songs, The Grind and Burn, because those two songs were those I had already written before, and I wanted to finish them and make something just for me, to start with, just for me. I had no plan whatsoever to form a band or perform or be on the radio giving interviews. I just wanted to record those two songs for my own amusement, and that was 1 year ago, just 1 year ago. So things went absolutely crazy in just 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like kind of stepping back into the studio?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great. I was a bit nervous first, but we like connected really strongly. Me and the producer and the sound engineer Liam, and I've sent these songs to him some weeks earlier for him to just listen to it, and we're gonna re-record it again, because it was like half good demo recordings of those two songs. So he played all the instruments again, and with great sound and engineering and mixing, and so I went there and I sang Burn. I think that is like 1 or 2 takes or something. I was really like this when I heard the music, and I got the headphones on, and took a sip of coffee, and I just went for it. So it like 1 or 2 takes on the vocals, and I just went back and to fill in some stuff, and maybe like do some harmonies or something like that, some dubbings. So that went very fast, very seamless. Yeah.
The fact that you said you have scar tissue on your lungs,
Yeah.
it amazes me that you sound the way you do, because I mean you reach some pretty high octaves.
Yeah. Yeah. But I could reach even higher when I was younger, actually. So I have to work with what I have now. But yeah, it's challenging sometimes, yes. But I keep in my I I have some I know my range. I know my notes.
Yeah.
So I will do what I can with that, so to speak. So there are guys out there that can sing much higher notes than me. And at one point I got a bit fed up with that competition of men being able to sing high notes. So I pushed that aside and just wanted to convey, or like um, uh, show like my feelings and my emotions and my thoughts, and bring some true feelings in my words. I want people to feel my words, and
Yeah.
that is not necessarily to do that with high notes. You can do that with low keys as well, or putting grit into it, or sadness, or
Yes.
frustration, or something like that. Yeah.
I I I love that, because the high notes I think are a great complement for your other styles that you
Yeah.
incorporate. I especially love the grit and the growl that you have. I think it sounds amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um, was it a long time to kind of learn how to do that, or was it kind of something that came a little easier?
the gr- the growling thing, or
Yeah, the growling.
no, it's something I always could do. I haven't thought much about it. It's not something I've like trained or struggled to get. It just came naturally. I've struggled more with the high notes than I did with the low, actually. So I was thinking of joining or starting like a thrash thrash metal band and be down there, you know, Testament, metal church. Yeah. So if like Metal Church or Annihilator bands like that would contact me, I would jump on the train in an instant. Yeah, I love that bands. Yeah, I like it when it's raw and with with some aggression, but not necessarily growling when you don't hear the words, because the words and the lyrics are important to me. It's important for me that you hear what I sing, what I would sing. I would sing like me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we lost you for just a second, but we got you back, so that's what matters.
Yeah, I'm back. I'll be back.
So, we've covered a lot of ground tonight, and the next thing I want to know is what is next for you and the band?
Trying to get more gigs in the region. There are many great bands in this region, many great musicians, and in the various genres, not only rock and roll or heavy metal. There's a lot of really good musicians here, and not so many venues. So the venues are busy. They have live gigs 3 or 4 times a week, all year round. So it's kind of hard to get a gig.
Yeah.
And there are also festivals during the summer season. The weather is not so good here in Sweden half the year in the northern parts, and yeah, so the summer season is quite short. Working on get us booked to more gigs, and maybe after the last night gig, do you know the word spread? We did a good job on the gig, and people were happy, and the promoters and venue club owners, they were very happy about it. So we were offered to come back later this spring and do a second show, because the place was packed. You couldn't fit a fly in the venue. It was totally packed with people, so it was great. So maybe we could play in another venue shortly, I hope. I have some loose ends. I can't tell you too much about it, but I have some strings I'm pulling. Yeah, nothing is booked yet, but
well, we also just want to say congratulations on the gig, because you also sold all of your merch last night.
Yeah. I think we have one T-shirt left. I think one small T-shirt left or something. All sold out. Yeah, that's much appreciated, and from what I saw, almost everybody on that show got home with a STYREN T-shirt, carrying or wearing. It's great.
That's badass.
I never been hugged so many times in my life like I was hugged yesterday. Last night, all of them wanted to hug me. Yeah, it's great. We are a hugging people. We Swedes, we hug each other all the time.
That's something that that's not very popular over here in the United States. So it's definitely a culture shock to hear that.
Yeah. Also, men and colleagues and buddies of mine. When I meet my male friends, we hug. Yeah, every time.
It should be more of that.
And the ladies and the women, of course, too. It's not like a sexual thing or something like that. We just hug. Sign of appreciation and acknowledgement, and there's nothing sexual about it at all. It's not like I'm grabbing his ass or licking his ears or something. Yeah, I can lick his ears. I can lick their ears sometimes. Yeah, I do that actually.
So this
Just
is why they go to see you.
yeah, to get their ears licked. Just for fun. People when we are close, we can goof around and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's what makes
Prank.
life worth it,
Yeah, sure. But we are hugging people in Sweden. Yeah, we turned from Vikings to the huggers, so we hug
Yeah.
each other. Yeah, instead. Yeah, and yeah, that's great.
Also, I think that when you get some more merchandise in, we are definitely going to get some shirts from you.
Yes.
You are really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
we
let
really.
you know when we have a new stock and
Yeah. Because
and
we really
also
love the sound.
yeah, sure, great. I will arrange that. And also, I was quite pleased because there is a good chance the album will be released on vinyl as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's going to be great whenever that gets released.
There you are again. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like
that will be great.
Yeah, it's like one more on my bucket list, So
What is that something you haven't gotten to do yet?
I haven't done that yet. No.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
50 years young, and you're knocking it off.
Sure. This year, this past 12 months have been more have happened to me than in like 30 years. So this year has been like almost my old bucket list. I've been like, so it can mean a couple of things. Maybe I'm gonna die soon, so I will, when the bucket list is full completely, I die. Or it means like, yeah, some people bloom later, late bloomers, and need time to develop their style or something. I don't know, or it just means that the world is ready for me now.
Yeah,
They were not 20 years ago, but they're ready now.
I could see that. I think 20 years ago, if you sounded anything like you do now, you were still slightly ahead of what the sound was.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
I think that your trajectory is just going to be onwards and upwards from here. Like, I think this year was just the beginning for you, and I'm pretty sure April will say the same.
I do.
Oh, thank you.
Not a problem. Tell the listeners where they can follow you. Is it on Facebook and Instagram?
Sure, both Instagram and Facebook, and I have like a band page on Facebook. It's called STYREN, the band. It's not so, and I'm on Instagram as well. MagStyr. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you figure it out. Yeah, and Spotify, of course, and Apple Music. It's just search for my name, Magnus STYREN, and it's all there popping up. But when we release the album, the Magnus will go away. It will be a STYREN then. So I was thinking, I was discussing with the record company when they decided to sign me, if we want to change the name to something more like international or English sounding, or have a band name or a project like Laser Sharks, Dead Hammerheads. I don't know, some bullshit, goblins from hell, something like that.
Right.
No. They said, no. Your name is it's so unusual and exotic. And what does it mean? Is it like a Viking thing? No, it's not. But thanks for asking. We thought maybe it was like a Viking chief or something with an axe. No, it's not. It's nothing like that. It's an old village, actually. My last name, my family name. Yeah, it's an old village. The village doesn't exist anymore. It's nowadays just a little part of Stockholm, like a suburb of Stockholm. So the village name is no longer, but it was there some 100 years ago or something like that. Yeah. So when people moved away from there, they adapted the village name as their family names. Quite common back in the days. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's definitely a first for the podcast to hear
Yeah.
that for the
Yeah.
name. That's awesome. And yeah, don't change
You
the
don't
name.
change it.
No, no. And it's not pronounced the way you do in America. It's pronounced STYREN. Can you do that for me?
STYREN?
Yeah, almost. No,
Oh,
it's like, yeah, that doesn't matter. But I go with STYREN. It's easier for, it's more like international, but it doesn't mean anything really. It doesn't. You just look good in printing, I guess.
I mean,
So,
it definitely stands out among a
yeah,
crowd of names, you know?
Mm-hmm.
yes, and you
It's
can't really
strong.
tell what genre it is. You
No.
can't. No, it could be like opera maybe, or I don't know,
Yeah.
disco dancing or something. But I was I was thinking maybe do like a word game with a siren, you know, siren,
Yeah.
the siren's whale. I was thinking maybe because we love that stuff in Sweden, you know, word games and twist the words. So Styren's whale maybe, or something like that. I was thinking about maybe do something like that maybe.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. It could be fun, and we can have a whale on the cover, like
Yeah.
a humpback whale or a blue whale or killer whale or something. Yeah,
Just completely destroy the wordplay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Magnus, we got one last question for you, but we both just want to say thank you. This has been such a wonderful, wonderful interview. Despite all the hiccups and everything, you have been such a great guest to have on.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
And I'm pretty sure I could speak for April on this, but we would love to have you back in the
Sure,
future.
Yeah, I would
sure.
love that.
Anytime, anytime.
Whenever you're free, and hopefully earlier in the afternoon for you, so it's not so bad.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
But I asked this to everybody that is on the podcast, and
Yeah.
that is, you just went beyond the breakdown with 6 scars. How are you feeling tonight, man?
Say again. 6.
Oh yeah, you just went beyond the breakdown.
Oh,
Basically, you know. So how are you feeling after all this?
great, great. I feel like I've gotten some energy. I'm in a good mood. I feel great. Really, it was great to meet you too, and I had a wonderful time. Yeah.
Oh, that makes us so happy.
Yeah.
That really does. Just thank you.
Thank you.
We had so many nerves going into this, because first the internet went out, and then everything didn't want to work, and then we had to switch to a different. It's just been chaos.
Shit happens when the technology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
it.
So, and we are all slaves to the technology now,
God.
aren't we?
Yeah, I hate it, and it. I mean, I use it constantly, just like everybody else does, but I wish we could get away from it more.
Yeah. It's last night, we did a few covers on the gig. So we played that old classic song from Judas Priest, Metal Gods.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, from the album British Steel from 1980. Yeah,
good album.
I don't know if you're familiar with that lyrics in that song. Machines are taking all over.
Yeah,
With mankind in their command. You know that one? And
Yep.
that is so true. It's like 45 years ago or something like that. That song came out, and that is more true than ever.
yeah.
Yes,
That
it
song.
is.
So it's kind of scary.
It
in a
is.
way.
It terrifies me at
Yeah.
times to see how far things are going, because it's
Yeah.
just you don't know what's next.
No. I work as a teacher nowadays in high school in Sweden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we have some problem with that AI bullshit, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
students filing and writing reports
Oh God.
with the
I can see it.
AI system. Yeah. Um, so
Yeah.
far, it's probably easy to detect the cheating stuff, but yeah, it takes time and effort, and
Yeah.
energy to yeah.
It, it scares me with AI because there's a lot of good things you could use it for, but people tend to use it for the worst things you can
Yeah,
think.
yeah. It's like when the internet came up and it came to Sweden. What's the first thing that came? Yeah, porn and violence
Ah,
on the
yeah.
internet. Yeah, and just spreading um, hatred. You know, in the childhood of the internet in the late 90s or so, was just rubbish in the beginning.
Yeah. It I what I know we were closing this out, but I just love talking about these kinds of topics as well. But
Yeah.
how do you feel that, technology has affected people's mental health?
Yes, it most definitely have. We can see that in in the educational system with our pupils, students. Yes, since this is like facts. They did a study some time ago, and they study especially young women's mental health,
Mm,
and they like followed it for a number of years, 10 years or so, and they can like measure how the young women uh, were feeling emotionally and mentally and so and all that. So they could track it like backwards and see
mhm.
that with the implementation of Instagram coming as an app
Yeah.
and a smartphone approximately at the same time, like 2011, 2012, something like that. The mental health amongst young women in the Western civilization, like where you are in Europe and so on, it just as a it's very very clear,
Hmm.
and they can like backdate it. So my young students, the female ones, they're not well. They're not feeling well. No, they get bombarded by this um, sexual content, and this is the way you should look, and this is the way you should dress, this is the way you should behave, this is the way uh, all this sexual thing with
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
females all the time. They get bombarded with it. But in my feed, in my feed, I'm a guy. I'm 51. uh, I get tools and craftsmanship and things about traveling.
Yeah.
Because that's my interest, jackets for for middle-aged men or something like that, motorcycles and car stuff, and my young female students. I have students that they are teenagers, so sometimes they show me their feed in the Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. It's all sexual things and clothes and makeup. This is how you should do it to get your boyfriend more interested in you and stuff like that all the time. They get bombarded by it, and weight issues and stuff like that. It's not healthy. It's not good. This is a bad
It's
thing.
really not.
Do you feel me, April? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of my stuff is now like snakes and tarantulas, bugs.
Yeah.
She keeps snakes and
Yeah.
tarantulas and things like that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather see that than makeup.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um
I was
this
bitten by a snake once. I was sick. Yeah.
oh
Oh
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a Swedish viper. They're poisonous, but they're not deadly. But I got sick.
yeah.
Yeah, for a couple of days. Yeah.
Oh, I would say so.
Yeah.
I've never been bitten by a snake and I really don't want to
It's
be.
really
Ow.
unpleasant. It's really unpleasant to be bitten by a snake. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
and
Well,
also
I'm a bird.
spiders. They hurt. They bite. It hurts like hell. But besides that, it's in Sweden we don't have many dangerous animals. We don't have. We have sharks, but they are not so dangerous. It's not like we don't have bull
I have them in
sharks
my
here.
bedroom.
yeah.
Not sharks,
Do you
but
have
dangerous
sharks in your
snakes.
bedroom?
I wish.
We don't have alligators.
Oh,
No.
good lord.
I don't think Jordan would let me keep an alligator.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to let her keep an alligator.
No.
no, this has been amazing, Magnus. This really has. I can't thank you enough. This has been, for those watching or listening in the future, this has been about a month or so in the works. So we've definitely been anticipating this, and I was so glad when I saw um, your message come up in the inbox, and I got to check you out, and it was really cool, man. And this was one of my bucket list things
Oh,
for the
thank you.
podcast.
Yeah,
So
great.
you know, to really get to talk to somebody like you who has this insight into all these different genres, but also it's such a cultural difference as well, and that's
Mm.
what I really love to pick your brain about tonight. So thank you for letting us.
No problem. My pleasure.
Um, with that being said, I will be dropping all your links in the description and the comments on the video tomorrow. And for those that did not get to watch because of the link that was previously, I'm going to make good on that. I am going to do a re-airing of the event, and I am going to put this video in it so that way everybody that was supposed to watch that can still watch it.
Oh, I've seen some comments flashing
Yes.
by, but I wasn't able to read them. Is there anything
Um,
question for me or?
right now, we've had one that said if you search up STYREN on YouTube, you get somebody doing a science experiment.
It's probably me. It's probably
well,
me.
oh well, hey.
Yeah. It's I have a YouTube channel and some of those posts are movies that I made. I had students that are not from Sweden, like immigrants, and they don't know Swedish that well, obviously. So I did lessons for them and put texts, and they can watch it over and over again. And other people picked that up and thought it was great, like a do-it-yourself show or something like that. So those movies that got like 100,000 views each or something like that. So I just let them be, uh, and um, and there is music as well, videos and audio and stuff like that. So the crazy scientific experience the people referring to is probably me building something,
That's
uh,
awesome.
yeah, building something or pouring concrete or something like that. Yeah,
the
working
many
with marble.
sides.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
sure.
Magnus, I believe we will have to call it. I think the kids need us down there. So we will have to call it here, but I
Sure,
definitely want you back. This has been
sure,
such a great time.
Yeah.
sure. Anytime.
Uh, we will be doing a message afterwards just to reach out as a follow up. So just be looking for that.
What is the message?
Oh, just to basically see how you're doing and everything
Oh,
else
okay.
after a
Yeah,
couple of days. I just like to keep in contact with all the people I
sure.
have on. Um, thank you again, and I wish you and your family nothing but the best.
You too. You too. It's been a pleasure.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
So everybody, what can really be said? That was Magnus STYREN. What a great
Yeah.
guest, right? Like, so I know this is your second episode, but how you feeling after that?
I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
He was funny.
yeah. Yeah, he had a lot of good jokes, but also a lot of great, information
Insights.
and insights and
Yeah.
everything else. Um, so yes, this has been one of the most hectic nights for the Beyond the Breakdown podcast. She saw me basically blow a blood vessel over here earlier, trying to get things situated. So for my agony of the night, that does it. Um, so here's how we end it. Please follow the podcast at beyondthebreakdownpodcast.com, on YouTube at Six Scars, on Twitch at twitch.tv/btbpod. Also, don't forget, you can join the Patreon for as low as $1 a month. We are working to put some content on there that is not just podcast related, but other things as well. And any money that you do give to that will go for increasing our setup here. We have a lot of hopes and dreams that we would love to have come to fruition. So, with that, I will see you all next time when we go beyond the breakdown.